Welcome to DroneCast, rethinking public safety one drone at a time, a podcast by DroneSense. We explore real-world applications of drones and emergency response, offering a close examination of evolving trends in drone technology and its impact on public safety. I'm your host, John McLeod, Director of Customer Success here at DroneSense. Hello, and welcome to DroneCast. I'm your host, John McLeod. Today we have a special DroneCast mini episode for you. In 2024, we launched DroneCast with the idea of bringing together some of the most interesting practitioners and innovators in public safety who are pioneering the use of UAS technology to provide life-saving services in their communities and around the world. We've been blessed with great conversations and great advice from our guests, and the response from our listeners has far exceeded our expectations, and we couldn't be more grateful for the support we've received. We've also learned a lot in this process as podcasters, and that's really led us to think, where do we go from here? What conversations are most valuable to you, and what's the best way to move forward? After some reflection, it was really clear to all of us here at DroneSense the answer was to go both deeper and broader, to bring in more voices in order to allow us to explore a greater range of topics and interests. So to that end, I'm pleased to announce we will be adding an additional host to DroneCast to help us drive forward. So it gives me great pleasure to introduce you all to Joe Kearns, DroneSense's Strategic Partners Manager, who's joining DroneCast as co-host. Joe brings a wealth of industry experience and knowledge to the table, and I can't wait for all of you to listen along with me to the conversations to come. That said, I'm not going anywhere. In fact, I'm very excited that I'll have the opportunity to continue recording great content for everyone, with additional time and freedom to lean in and highlight stories that have piqued my interest, and maybe even tell them in different and fun ways. So without much ado, welcome to DroneCast, Joe.
Thank you, John. It's great to be here and just wonderful to share the microwave with you.
Awesome. Well, we're excited to have you. For the benefit of our listeners, let's introduce you a little bit. Can you tell us kind of a brief synopsis about yourself and what you do here at DroneSense?
Yes, of course. Well, thank you. Thanks again, John. Name's Joe Kearns. I am the Strategic Partnership Manager here at DroneSense. And with this, I am nurturing those key relationships and partnerships that we have, as well as finding new ones and driving them forward and really amplifying it. And with this incredible, constantly evolving and wild industry that we're in, you always have to be at the lookout for new partners or emerging technology, or even technology or companies that have maybe been quiet and now they're growing to something else, or a new way things are forming. There's just so much going on that it's very interesting. So I'm thrilled to be a part of DroneSense and be a part of managing these relationships. So it's a lot of fun. I'm very excited about it. The other side of this, I'm also managing a lot of our video content creation and such. So great to just capture. There's just so much to talk about. So once again, John, thank you so much for having me as a guest here and now co-host.
So tell us a little bit, how did you get interested in the UAS space?
The UAS and UAV space, I got started in this by finding a solution to a problem I had. And this was many, many years ago, and I was working as a field estimator for roofs and paint out here in Colorado. And in doing that, you have to walk between multifamily buildings with a huge 40-foot ladder and go from roof to climb up there to take a little photo with a simple cell phone. And after a long day here in some Colorado heat, I was like, wait, I could use a drone here. This is that moment. This is my problem. I'm going to explore this technology and see where I can go with it. And sure enough, I bought a DJI Spark, right? And I don't know if anyone else have had one of those. They're a hilarious little consumer drone, and it literally opened my mind and eyes to this entire technology and space, and I just fell in love with it. And I already was a I never went to school for tech or any of this. Like, I was just a tech enthusiast. I had a roommate who was the designer of the Oculus Rift, and him and I would just amp on this stuff. So I always had this drive for it. And it just kept growing and growing. So from the Spark, I upgraded to a larger and then a larger and larger, and then started networking. And I actually ended up meeting an individual who was one of the very first commercial drone license. And he worked in the oil and gas industry. So I jumped in there and started working in the oil and gas industry, where I managed multiple different assets up there in North Dakota and spent most of my entire summer and time up there either flying drones and developing flight plans and asset management, or working with the Native American tribes up there, or training lease operators how to use technology, which is still one of my favorite parts, which was training was those that are, let's say, I don't want to say fearful, but against maybe new technology, like showing this new age movement of drone and how it's not just a toy or a flying RC, but it's really a tool. And that became such a just such a moment for me. I love that. But sitting out there in the middle of nowhere in North Dakota, I realized all I'm doing is sitting in a Sprinter van and hanging out with robots. And that is not necessarily me as a person. I like to be involved with everyone. So I immediately, after the pandemic, I ended up getting into drone sales and distribution, which enabled me to start meeting a lot of different people in this entire network, and the whole start of the Blue UAS and American manufacturing really took off, and all of that. I got to be a part of that original wave, and it was really exciting, and getting to meet these amazing individuals that I hope to have on the podcast as well, to move forward. And from there, I kept moving. I wanted to find something that I could also, like, the work I used, I would put in every day was tangibly recognized to help either save a life or make a difference or something in this industry, not just selling a device. And that's where it led me here to DroneSense.
Everybody comes into this a different way. So it's always exciting to hear somebody new and their entry into it. Kind of at the risk of fishing for compliments, but you've gotten to hear us as we've recorded quite a few episodes this year. And so I was just curious, what did you like, or what did you see of value when you're listening to DroneCast, and kind of what's exciting to you about areas we can add to that?
Well, John, I also have to give you a lot of credit here, because you have such a big brain, and your tenacity to find incredible information and ask the right questions with these amazing guests that you've brought on. First, I got to say, I hope to do such a even just portion of the job you've done here with DroneCast. So shout out to you first. But second all, I will say it's bringing these incredible stories or thought leaders and their voice into a space that everyone can hear. And a lot of these podcasts that have come out with DroneCast, there's light into how either a certain training really helped a team, or a new process, or a new, again, thought leadership. So real excited to see that. And it's just the cutting edge technology, the thoughts, the public safety industry, the expansion behind that, how people developed their concepts. All of that is what I was really drawn to DroneCast.
As you're thinking ahead for, some of the content you're going to bring our listeners in the near future, are there particular topics or interests that we should set their expectation they're going to hear more about very soon?
Well, John, something I really want to bring to this to DroneCast is really the this emerging technology and all the relationships that I've had over the years, and had the privilege of creating and maintaining, and bringing those stories and where their technology and ideas of what the drone space should be, maybe what DFR should be, maybe why the choice of this sensor, maybe the choice of what direction, or who knows. So I'm real excited to explore that, as well as maybe training concepts and so on. There's just so much to bring here, and I'm excited to do so.
Kind of turning your mind to the future, kind of with a longer lens as well too. Is there anything in particular that's getting you excited these days, both, in terms of hardware or software or practitioners that you kind of see on the horizon that's exciting right now?
I mean, I think everyone is racing to the solution to a lot of different problems right now, or what DFR exactly is, or what it's going to become. And it's really exciting to unravel everyone's different thought when it comes to that. There's a lot of thought on beyond line of sight and so on, and like what that answer is and what that ecosystem looks like. Does it take training? Does it take a certain form of technology? What is that? So that's definitely something I want to bring there.
Well, that's all the big questions we have as part of an introduction, Joe. We're super excited to have you, and we would be remiss if we didn't give you the opportunity, like we do all of the guests on here, for your shameless plug. So, is there something you'd like to talk about that you're working on today, you're excited about, or just give a general shout out?
I'm just so excited to be a part of this, and I'm thrilled to be here. Like working with the team here at DroneSense is an entire collection of subject matter experts, and I'm learning something every day, which is what I even recommend for everyone in this industry. And I'm just excited to do this. There's a lot of things coming in our YouTube channel. There's a lot of exciting webinars coming. I'm just excited for this other facet and getting a chance to speak to all these incredible people.
Yeah, there's certainly plenty to be excited about these days, and I can't wait to see where you take some of those conversations in the future, and get to listen along to someone who doesn't sound like me is very exciting to me as well.
Come now, John. You're an incredible host. Like, don't even. I hope to even do a fraction of the excellent work you've done here.
Well, it's very kind of you. And thanks to everybody for listening out on the internet today. Thanks for coming along on this journey with us, to everyone and to Joe in particular. And look forward to seeing you guys all next time on DroneCast. Be sure to like and subscribe. Have a great day. See you next time. DroneCast, Rethinking Public Safety One Drone at a Time, is brought to you by DroneSense. To find out more about DroneSense and how our comprehensive situational awareness platform can help you fly, share, and manage your drone program, please visit DroneSense.com. That's DroneSense.com. And then make sure to search for DroneCast in Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, or anywhere else that podcasts are found. Please don't forget to click subscribe so you don't miss any future episodes. On behalf of the team here at DroneSense, thanks for listening.